Have a warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we have the or one of the fathers of the finishing whiskies, which are quite popular today. And this is the Balvenie Double Wood, 12 years of age, 40% ABV. Here at Whisky.com, it's priced at €54.90 in Central Europe, probably 1 to 3 euros more wherever you live due to higher alcohol taxes. The Balvenie Double Wood was one of the first, if not the first, single malt whiskey which was matured in 2 different casks after one another. And it had been 25 years ago. No, even longer, 30 years ago, when this whiskey was introduced in 1993. It was the malt master David Stewart from the Balvenie distillery who created this kind of maturation. And he took typically matured malt whiskey and did a finishing with it to give it a more complex, more interesting taste in European oak cask. And this is the big difference between this double matured whiskey and other double matured whiskies, which are typically matured in American oak sherry cask. This one in European, especially I think, Spanish oak casks. On the tube, they tell the story. First maturation is whiskey oak, and the second is sherry oak. And whiskey oak, what is whiskey oak? Well, whiskey oak is typically ex-bourbon casks and, refabricated ex-bourbon casks, which are called hogsheads. And here they say many years maturation in traditional whiskey cask mellows the maturing spirit and imparts warming layers of vanilla spiciness. So this is the first maturation where, more or less elegant, not too intense maturation takes place. And then sherry oak, further maturation in European oak sherry casks increases complexity, bringing fruity, honey depth to the resulting single malt. And this is what was the real innovation back then in 1993 when our company was founded. And I think the first double wood from Balvenie, I think they had another bottle, a more cognac-shaped bottle, if I remember right. Or I mix it up with a competitor of this one, but in all of these videos, I do not tell things about the competitor. This whiskey got rewards more and more, and lots and lots. And even we at Whisky.com, we gave it one of the best whiskies in 25 years. Because we find this whiskey so outstanding, so beautiful. Last time I had this one is far too long ago. I do not remember the details, and so we will have it again. Here's the slip to open. And there had been a second one, not double matured, but the 10-year-old in the same bottle, but this is long gone, 2 decades ago. And this was then, because the 10-year-old wasn't bought any longer when this exquisite piece had been on the market. Yeah, sherry on the nose, definitely. So what we have to expect is a taste starting with vanilla from the bourbon casks, and then adding fruitiness from the ex-Oloroso sherry casks. And this together with some, well, distillery character. And this all together gives this complexity. And I remember it as a very mellow, mature, complex whiskey. So, sweet fruitiness on the nose. Oloroso sherry is fully fermented. There's no residual sugar in ex-sherry casks. So this kind of sweetness has to come from the distillery character of Balvenie. Vanilla on the nose. And very fruity. Oranges in the start, switching over to a more darker fruity notes like the sherry casks delivered, typically dark plums and resins and sultanas and everything, yeah. Probably a little bit of honey in the nose as well. Cheers. Even with a 40% ABV, it's stronger than I thought or I remembered. And there's definitely European oak in it. There's some light tannins, light cinnamon, together with this dark sherry fruitiness, little nuttiness. This is typically for sherry casks, as I tell you every time I see a sherry matured whiskey here in my cask. And the aftertaste is long, warming, and showing a little bit of this darker oakiness in the aftertaste. Very well, very round, very balanced. Really interesting. Yeah. One of the best we had in the 33 years our company is running today. So that's it for today. Catch you next time.